everybody, and welcome again to Perspectives, the home edition. We're taping this on Thursday, the 13th of January, but a story just broke. I need to insert this before we go to our first guest, who's been very patient with us. First of all, we just got word that the president is making masks available to all Americans free. These are high quality masks. All you have to do is ask, and they send them right to you. The other thing is he's buying an additional 500 million COVID tests on top of the 500 million that he's already bought. Those will be shipped directly to you. And again, all you have to do is ask, and they're going to have the where do you ask, how do you ask worked out by the first part of next week. But I wanted to make sure you knew about that, because a lot of folks are saying they can't get the home test. They can't afford to stay in line for 2 or 3 hours. So this is going to break up a lot of the waiting and get this horrible situation maybe under control. For those who really do want to live, they can wear a mask and get vaccinated. Anyway, now you know all I know. Let's go to our guest, Chad Oliverson. Chad, are you there, buddy?
I am here. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Chad is with the Arts Alliance Tulsa. And I guess, Chad, first thing we ought to do for the folks that missed the first go around, give us an overview. What is the organization all about?
I love always having an opportunity to talk about who we are and why we're here. So Arts Alliance Tulsa was born 2015. October, so end of that. We're going into our 7th campaign year. And basically, we're a united funding organization focused on the arts. We work the same way as any other united funding organization for like social services or human need. We just focus our funding towards education in arts, mental health in arts, performance in arts. They are unrestricted grants, which are very, very rare. Most granting, as you know, goes directly to types of programming, which is very important, so we can make sure that our kindergarten to 3rd graders are covered with specific events or programs. But we truly believe that it is imperative that the health of the core of the organization is intact. If we can't keep the lights on, if we don't have the technology via computers, if we don't have the employees, how do we do these programs that we're getting grants for? So that's where we come in. We're only supplemental. We can't handle it all, but we work for roughly 43 local arts organizations to raise unrestricted granting, along with other things, but that is our core.
It's almost like playing whack-a-mole, isn't it?
It is. It's a very good analogy, actually. And sometimes you really do want to whack-a-mole. So.
Yeah, I bet you do. Well, let's talk about the age bracket, because there has to be, a cutoff. How young and how old are we talking about including, or the inclusion of, the young in the area?
So really, our organizations handle a gamut of ages. Their focus is now in preschool all up to the elderly. So beyond, we have programs that deal with, through our organizations, that deal with, basically, it's so diverse in age. There is no age limit. If I'm answering the question correctly,
yeah,
they
you are.
serve almost from birth to passing to the next birth or next life. We have to.
It's amazing to me that you said that, because here we are in the middle of a pandemic. Here we are with people just trying to stay alive. The folks that can read and write. Now I'm kind of puzzled. You're telling me that you work with babies, or that some of the organizations you help work with babies?
Yes. Absolutely.
How does unfold that for me?
I'll unfold it as best I can, because I'm not in on every one of the programs that all of our groups do, but I am aware that they're finding that education at even a preschool or a toddler age really sets this child up for a much better future. So there has been a lot more focus in education on children that we would think, okay, they're taking a nap. Let's have them have nap time, change their diaper. But no, exposing them to whether it be visual arts, to music, in some cases to types of performing arts, puppetry or whatever it is a stimulant. It does stimulate their brain and imagination. So we're finding it's a really important age to start introducing new visuals to stimulate that part of their brain. So yes, it does happen, and we're seeing more focus on that as we learn more in the industry.
I know there've been some powerful studies just in the last year about the importance of stimulation for preschoolers.
Yes.
But I had no idea it would go all the way back to the very, very young.
Yes. I mean, if we think all the way back to just a mother's lullaby or a father's lullaby or grandma's lullaby, that's a form of art, a storytelling. Those are all forms of art, but we're taking it to the next level now, where these children can be exposed to different types of stimulus, not just in their home, but they can go to places where groups of children are together, like you would a mommy and me class or something like that. And arts are introduced into those areas. And then it goes all the way up, because we never stop growing. We never stop learning. And art is key to keeping our brain active.
I've always been fascinated by a baby's reaction to its immediate caregiver. And 99 cases out of 100, the mother. How the child will follow the mother's voice before they can walk, before they can do anything. That voice means everything. It's their connection to the world. It's food, it's shelter, it's clothing, it's all of it.
Yes, I so agree. I mean, these children are sponges, and they are for quite some time there. So what a perfect time to expose them to new types of music, to new visuals. For instance, I can take my own mother as an example. My father lived in Africa. I think I've told this story before, but my mom exposed me to music from Africa. She exposed me to art from overseas. We weren't rich. She was in the military, and this is stuff she brought back. But she knew the importance of the voice and of music, and of me looking at pages in a book while she reads, and looking at the visuals that were drawn out. And that set me up to have a much more creative imagination. I can say that for a fact. So props to my mom on that, and to all mothers and fathers and grandparents and caregivers that do that for their children.
I didn't meet my father until I was a year old. He was busy a little place called Normandy.
Heard about it. Yeah.
You know the routine.
Yeah.
Anyway, he ended up in a VA hospital in our home state, which was Arkansas, because of some things that he went through at Normandy. And I got to know him there. My mother would tell stories, though, about how the two of us interacted by the time he and I met. It was almost instant. I mean, it's just bam, just that quick. And it was because I am assuming, because they're not here for me to ask now, of the interaction between myself and my father, or vice versa, was virtually the same as the interaction between my mother and myself. He'd feed me candy, which I dearly loved at a young age, and you can tell it's still with me. But it's an amazing thing how babies react. And I can cite you an example. I know it's a false memory, but I've heard the story so many times, I can almost see him in that hospital.
Yeah. Sam, we as humans almost have, and it's sad, we dismiss the very young and the very old as not being something that really gives a lot to society. They're too young to do it, or they're too old to do it. Simply not the case. You know, we're sponges as we're children, and we continue to grow as we get older. And there's so much more to offer and so much more to give. And we've got to stop thinking that you must be 35 years old to be a contributing member of society or have something important to say. We've got to start listening to our youth, and we need to continue to listen to those that came before us, or we're going to miss out on a whole lot.
You know, Chad, just lately, there have been a number of named entertainers and movers and shakers interviewed about their early years with their parents and what they remember. I've seen some of those interviews, and virtually every one of them mentioned they remember music at an early age. They remember going to plays before they were in school. And all of a sudden you begin to realize, you know what, everything you said in the beginning of this interview is right on target, because it does stimulate the brain.
Yes. Yes, it does. I mean, there are so many studies, and I won't bore you with them. Some of them on our website, actually, and they continue to do studies. But we know that if a child, not even an infant, but a child has even 4 years of education in a musical instrument, right? They are so much more likely to score much higher on their SATs when they take them than somebody who has no exposure to music at all. So that's just one study. We know that theater does the same thing as far as how am I creative in the job market. I'm not going to be an actor. I'm going to be in the business sector, but I have these skills of public communication, of connecting with somebody, of expressing what I want to say. These are skill sets that we often overlook as just, it's just art. No, it's setting us up for our future careers, no matter what those are.
Chad, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to hound you some more about information. So don't go anywhere. Stay right there, and we'll be back with more right after this.